Folks know that progressives can be people of faith too, and Democrats can be open about their faith and values too.
I think if John McCain does not change his course to some degree where he can connect with evangelicals, I don't think he can be successful.
I am very pleased and very privileged to introduce to you the next Vice President of the United States, Governor Sarah Palin of the great state of Alaska.
Wow, he really did it. What a political, masterful stroke of genius by the McCain campaign. I mean, if you just look at it from a political strategy standpoint, I mean, it makes all the sense in the world.
I know that it will demand the best that I have to give, and I promise nothing less.
The surprise choice of Sarah Palin was McCain's attempt to reconnect with evangelicals. Her job was to appeal directly to them. With a rocky relationship with the religious right, McCain chose a running mate who embodied their faith and exemplified their values.
And I found just the right partner to help me shake up Washington, D.C. Governor Sarah Palin of the great state of Alaska.
The McCain camp believes that Sarah Palin has energized the conservative base, the evangelical base, so much that that's enough. She had the base at hello. That is extremely important.
I had the privilege of living most of my life in a small town. I was just your average hockey mom and signed up for the PTA.
When I was on the floor when she spoke, it was one of the most electric political moments I've ever experienced in my life.
I love those hockey moms. You know, they say the difference between a hockey mom and a pit bull? Lipstick.
She represented a revolt against media and political elites. And so a lot of the reaction in that crowd was really a reaction against this feeling that the elite had dismissed average Americans, average values.
In small towns, we don't quite know what to make of a candidate who lavishes praise on working people when they're listening, and then talks about how bitterly they cling to their religion and guns when those people aren't listening.
You have a baby with Down syndrome, a 17-year-old who's pregnant, and you're making the life decision in both cases. That's called the evangelical daily double. That is huge. That is a very important part of how they see Palin.
I listened when our opponent defended his unconditional support for unlimited abortions, and it's about time that we called him on it.
The insertion of Palin into this debate reignited the old culture war politics.
Obama's top priority as president will be a law to reinstate partial birth abortion, eliminate parental notification, and force taxpayers to fund abortions?
On this fundamental issue, I will not yield, and Planned Parenthood will not yield.
Barack Obama, dangerous values.
A lot of religious progressives who hoped that Obama would make big inroads in the evangelical vote have pulled back their expectations.
Barack Obama's appeal to evangelicals has been significantly undermined.
John McCain has gone a long way in corralling the evangelical vote, but I'm still concerned about the level of enthusiastic support because that relationship is absent.
Tomorrow, after decades of broken politics in Washington, we are less than one day away from bringing about change in America.
Everyone I spoke to said turnout was like twice as much.
Yeah, it's relative. All right. Did you finish that task?
I did finish that task.
That's great. That's what we need.
Obama's faith team fought to the bitter end. Even on election day, they were scattered throughout the battleground states.
I'm optimistic about what tonight's going to bring, and feel relieved, I think, to be at the end of this this long road. It's been a great ride.
Paul Montero and a local pastor head out to monitor polling sites in Pennsylvania to make sure there are no irregularities.
Anecdotally, we're hearing that there's heavy turnout in important parts of Philadelphia, which is critical. So I'm out in Chester, which is a pretty Republican part of the state. All right, Pastor. God bless you too. Yes, sir. We're going to make it. We're really just making sure that everyone knows we're here, we're involved, and those who are supporting the senator, they know we're there to help them out, and those who might be trying to intimidate supporters of Barack, they know we're watching too.
But these are the problem places right here.
Eddystone Firehouse and Lighthouse Hall.
Oh, I mean, it's like these are potential problems over here.
Depending on where the need is, we sort of adjust the voter protection lawyers to the different trouble spots.
Okay, just give you my number.
Thank you.
Anything hokey, just call me right away.
Okay.
We can get somebody out here.
One election isn't going to change 40 years of history, but it's a start. A win is having people of faith really reaching out to work with one another across faith lines.
There she is.
We were reaching out to everyone because the senator wanted it that way. Folks who were a registered Republican, or folks who would never consider. Yeah, MSNBC just called it for Barack. That's the game right there.
That's it.
When all the votes were counted, Americans handed Barack Obama a landslide victory.
Because they see the country as facing too many big problems. A lot of folks want to put culture war politics aside for a while.
Senator Obama and I have had and argued our differences, and he has prevailed. No doubt many of those differences remain.
Sarah Palin helped solidify the white evangelical base for McCain. He won just over 73% of their votes. But McCain's choice of a candidate as inexperienced as Palin also alienated a large number of moderate and politically conservative Republicans.
The election is over. What will evangelicals do? I don't see in my lifetime where even the evangelical, the religious right, social conservative movement, whatever you want to call it, is going to be dead and gone. It may change in its presentation, in its form, in its complexion, but it will always be there.
In this country, we rise or fall as one nation, as one people. Let's resist the temptation to fall back on the same partisanship and pettiness and immaturity that has poisoned our politics for so long.
Of the 3.5 million new young evangelical voters, Obama got nearly 60%. In battleground states where his faith team concentrated, Obama got up to 19% more evangelical votes than Democrats in 2004. Averaging all evangelical voters, Obama captured a hard-won 5% increase.
The religious right has been about this business for several decades now. We've been at this for about 3 years. We've done some real good, and we're going to keep doing some real good in moving that ball. It's a matter of the velocity or the speed at which the ball moves.
Obama's rallying cry was change. Enough evangelical voters answered that call. Will this shift permanently redirect American politics?
You can read more about this programme and have your say about the issues at Channel 4's Faith and Belief website, channel4.com/belief. Funny movie coming next. John Cleese, Rowan Atkinson, Whoopi Goldberg and Cuba Gooding Jr. It's a rat race, people.